Jonathan, I'm curious, does your firm use AI either internally or to assist with marketing activities currently?
Not really. I did use AI a little bit to help me with some podcast topics. I'm getting ready to start a podcast. It's going to be called Best of Johnston County, and wanted to get some topics and some titles that I could possibly use. So I used it for that. I did use it to rewrite a recruiting ad that I had on Wise Hire a couple of weeks ago. And I thought it did a nice job taking what I had and making it a little bit better. But other than that, I've not really used it in my practice too much yet. And then, of course, I took those podcast ideas and topics, and it gave me I asked for the 10 commandments of family law, and it gave me 10 commandments after I gave it a few more. It's all about the prompt writing, and then I used that to share, with Jim and the people who write the blogs for me with his company, and they're going to use some of those as the topics for the blogs we're going to write for our website. So you can, that kind of stuff I've used it for. I've heard the horror stories of people using it for legal research, and it's citing cases that didn't exist and stuff like that. And so, but I've got friends that are using it to do all kinds of things. So, I mean, I think it's fascinating. It's cutting edge. I do wonder, attorneys have to be very careful about attorney-client privilege. And, I don't know, once it starts working, I don't understand what you own and what you don't own and whether the rest of the world can see it or not. I'm going to have a better understanding of that before I do much more than this sort of tangential stuff I'm doing. But I do know some people that are really using it to do an awful lot of things.
I'm curious, Jim, what's been your advice for law firms when it comes to like using AI for marketing specifically?
Our advice has kind of been you don't need to do a whole lot with it. Like what Jonathan's doing right now is a great example of like how it can be helpful. Like if some of our clients write their own content, they want to know what to write about. Instead of subscribing to a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush or another SEO tool, tools like ChatGPT or other things can be really great for generating topics, generating outlines, generating like the building blocks of things are great. Also, people like Nick, you're saying, people that are not designers, Canva has a built-in AI component now. I mean, I think that's where like what we're seeing now is that everything that has previously existed is going to have an AI widget built into it, and don't be afraid to leverage it. But as far as like constructing whole things using AI, most people, lawyers or otherwise, just aren't equipped to build those things because they're not engineers or developers by nature. They're like, it's still the same logic that applies. So we haven't been advising more than like, understand what's out there, understand what's going on, understand how this may impact your firm. But as far as what they can do, it's small steps, content generation, maybe social posting. Like, Jonathan and I were talking about social media earlier. Like, can AI help his new social media person develop topics and write some copy that might be catchier than what she can come up with on her own? Probably. That would be a good use for it. But to say like, build me this thing that I'm going to really hang my hat on, like that just takes more engineering than I think anybody has the time to invest in or would be worthy of investment.